Hey everybody, welcome to my show, Functional Yoga Medicine. It's Tuesday, and I don't know if you're aware, but we're in the middle of Functional Yoga Medicine workshop in my Facebook group called Functional Yoga Medicine. You can also follow me on this podcast, Functional Yoga Medicine. And please subscribe to our channel. Leave us a review. It really helps with our algorithms to reach more people. And my goal is with Functional Yoga Medicine is really about true integration, providing all the practitioners, wellness and health practitioners and to stop compartmentalizing and specializing, but really looking at the bigger picture to provide you with all the tools to place all the puzzle pieces together in a cohesive way to help patients be whole again. It's really about self-empowerment or self-empowered healing as opposed to a disempowered victim mindset that we have to shift them from. As far as you're concerned, the whole Functional Yoga Medicine certification program was founded from my own personal frustrations from having to compartmentalize all the different disciplines, the dogmatic points of view, of really staying in my lane and living in limitations to really stepping out and daring to make a difference and really redefining the rules to truly help the patients to make sense out of madness. Because you know what your patients are doing is that they are ones who are having to integrate all that they're learning from this expert, that doc, this diet to that movement. And they're the ones who's piecing it all together, trying to make sense, only to have marginalized effects. And if you're being really truthful to yourselves, you yourself don't even understand that you too are losing the battle and losing confidence in terms of, my dog is barking, sorry about that. So you're losing confidence in your ability and you're slowly becoming a struggling with imposter syndrome because no matter how much education that you gain, you think if only you can gain that certification, this certification, or this degree or that degree, then you'd be qualified somehow to provide the benefit to your patients, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I have many degrees, many certifications, and it wasn't until 2 decades into my career that I finally learned that it was all up to me to really integrate all the principles together, get away from the dogmatic points of view, and really look at the patient as a whole. What really helped me and shaped me was my personal struggles as an autoimmune patient as well, and trying to make sense of madness and never really staying in one lane, but really understanding that I needed all the bits and pieces that wasn't really comprehensively being covered in any one program is why I created the Functional Yoga Medicine certification. So the more you learn, the more you become complacent. This is the truth, right? And this is because in the name of education, we tend to buy into highly specialized dogmatic points of view. And we have to buy into the institution. I was so excited when I found functional medicine. There was anti-aging medicine at the time. There was alternative medicine. There was integrative medicine, as well as there was the Institute of Functional Medicine. Now it's Functional Medicine University. It's another online platform. And then there is many different versions of functional medicine. And then there's functional medicine coaching, integrative nutrition. There is yoga. And then there's types of yoga that's very different. And then schools of thought in Pilates, different schools of thought in Pilates. So no matter what lane you start to stay, there's always going to be deeper that you can go to highly specialized. But when you specialize, while it may feel like the specialty is good, but Pilates in and of itself, or yoga in and of itself, or functional medicine in and of itself, or nutrition alone doesn't really make the patient whole. We need the psychological aspects, right? We need the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects to really understand how the workings of the mind works, to drive the behaviors, to really understand how to transform the lives that we touch. Because at the end of the day, I think you would agree, we all here to make a difference in the lives that we serve. We are all seeking for a deeper purpose to connect with our patients, and we want to lead with difference. We don't want to just do things just because that's the way we were taught. So I make a stark distinction between a powerless technician, powerless health technician. So I equate that with the educational system, right? A lot of the high paid doctors, like, I don't know, endocrinologists, gastroenterologists, ophthalmologists, plastic surgery, there's a certain technical way that they do things, right? And of course, you have to get lots of education. You have to be highly skilled at it, but still, it's a technical skill that you obtain to be able to do that. The other thing is, in terms of the technical side, whether it be a yoga teacher or a Pilates teacher, many people just want to do the thing that they learn to do. And we just rinse and repeat, while the patients are needing something deeper. And when we can't go any deeper, we go deeper into our expertise, as if our expertise has all the answers. And that's what I mean by the dogmatic points of view. I've learned and I became a master certified Pilates instructor. I am a double certified yoga teacher at the 500 E 500 hour. And then there is the doctoral level education, the master level education, and the bachelor's level education. All of those things didn't equip me. It was the experience. It was a frustration. It was when I learned how to finally connect the dots for my patients and then put it in a systematic way that I call the alkaline methodology, to really make it make sense, to connect the dots, to piece together all the broken pieces of the puzzle to make the body whole again. So that's what this work is all about, is the functional yoga medicine utilizing the alkaline methodology, right? And really, we want to be challenging the status quo, because I believe the sick care system is broken. And yes, it serves its purpose when we get into acute care situations where we get really sick, we get into an accident, or we hurt something, broken bones and all the likes. And I do think medical breakthroughs are really, really admirable, but still it's really, really missing the point in terms of chronic diseases, because most of the chronic diseases like autoimmune and diabetes, hypertension, obesity, all the things that lead to chronic disease management, they all stem from lifestyle factors. And so these are all things that we can be changing. And so we need to shift into becoming more aware of this, to equip our patients to be more inherently, really be prepared from the inside out to be self-empowered healers, versus looking for other people to perpetuate the dependency in our healthcare. So that's what this work is all about. And standing for something, standing for the thing that really works, and really finding better ways and asking better questions is requirement for you to really find a way for you to expand your mind and elevate your state so that you can become a powerful health mentor that you are. Because no practitioner, no doctor, no Pilates instructor, or even a yoga teacher wants to be responsible for other people's bodies and their health, right? We want to empower them, inspire them, evoke them to do what they need to do to show up for themselves so that they can grow. And then we want to build community and connection around that, which is the missing piece in the health and wellness industry. So it's not like a one-off where the patient comes to see you for 15 minutes, you tell them all and give them a diet or whatever. Even the dietary interventions itself, it's more about the intention by which the patient is eating versus the foods themselves. But a lot of the scientific ways are, we're looking for tangible ways to fix our patients, so much so that, because that's what we know, right? That's what we learned. And that's not the right way to really make a difference in the lives that we serve. And so you really have to think about, what does your patients need? And that's really stems from the inside out approach, where we really want to inspire them from the inside. So that's what we stand for. And challenging the status quo is not being complacent and doing the same things the way it's always done just because it's always been done that way, but really questioning, is that really the best way? Is that really the best I can do for this patient? Or How can I pull my background and my experience together, you as a practitioner, to mentor them through the process, to teach them all the tools? And it requires a lot more than knowing a lot about what supplements to take, because supplements in and of itself is just supplements. It's still outside of the patient. You really do have to consider their mental health, their emotional health, their physical health, and their spiritual stance. And are they in true alignment with the outside in, really living from a place of being the best versions of themselves? Or are they perpetuating disease with highly stressful jobs and relationships that are conflicted and all the things that drive their hamster cycle of this suffering and pain over and over again? Because unless you really address the culprit, whatever you do becomes just a superficial Band-Aid approach. You end up just doing the tip of the iceberg and never looking at the depth of what's underneath. So we really want to focus on what's the depth underneath the surface, and the context by which we apply the content is much more important. The premise by which you live your life is much more important. And to that end, Functional Yoga Medicine Certification Program focuses on the practitioners themselves to get on their healing journey and redefine what that looks like, and be bold and courageous to stand for something and really make impact through the work that you do, finding deeper purpose to end unnecessary suffering in the world. Because the more patients that we can help to be empowered and independent from the system, the healthier place we'll have, right? Because at the end of the day, the root cause of all disease, you know what that is? It's lack of self-love. It's self-betrayal, self-abandonment. I can't tell you 100% of the time in working with autoimmune patients for over 21 years, the root culprit was their traumatic pasts. They're reliving their trauma over and over again because they failed to metabolize the feelings that they had. They failed to allow them, because we're taught in this society, like the Me Too movement, right? Repress the feelings, don't feel, don't cry, don't feel sad. And if you do, numb the pain, drink alcohol, intoxicate, take medications. We have solutions and short fixes for everything. But the deeper the wound, the more we have to feel to heal. And that's what this work is all about. Willingness to really look at what's there and really look at yourselves in the mirror to recognize what is lacking and dare to put the pieces together to make the puzzle pieces whole. If you know many different pieces of the puzzle, there is the difficulty by which the puzzles are kind of labeled, right? The more pieces and smaller they are, the more details that they contain, the harder it is to put it together. And if you don't have a clear vision of what the outcome, the final product looks like, it's hard to put the pieces together. And then you have to kind of start from the edges. There's a strategic way by which you put the puzzles together. And it takes a lot of critical thinking and really visualizing the bigger picture. But you almost have to have a picture of the big picture to really fill in the gaps and solve the puzzle. In the same way, instead of flying blind, really going to one piece of the puzzle thinking that's all you need and getting heavily educated on that little piece, but you fail to put it all together for your patients to make it make sense for them in their lifestyle so that they can actually apply the solution in their lives every day. If we don't empower our clients, you guys, what good is that, right? We're creating a culture of dependency, and that's exactly what we want to get away from. We want an elevated consciousness. We want to expand the minds of those we serve, and we want to empower them with all the tools that they need. And that does require 4 essential elements that everybody needs to pull it all together. And then I call that the alkaline methodology, which is taught in the program to break it down, to pull it all together in a strategic way that makes cohesive sense. The first element being the timeless wisdom. We start there, the yoga as the foundational piece. And yoga, as it stands, it's not contortionistic movements, but it's a healing practice to prime the mind for the body, right? And yoga stands for your opportunity for growth and abundance. And so we really elevate our bodies and minds to really receive this energy. And then the second pillar of the timeless wisdom element of the alkaline methodology is all about energy medicine. And we pay attention to the energy, the attention, because our energy flows where our attention goes. We are full of energy, and we have to understand what that means, and the implications to our physiological health is really discussed, as well as meditation and silencing your mind to really tune into your body. Because too many of us are living completely abandoned our body and the signaling and the receptors. We fail to listen, right? And so this is what we do through the timeless wisdom piece, through the breath, through the practice of yoga, through energy medicine, and through meditation and silencing our minds to really prime our bodies to receive. The second element of the alkaline methodology is all about transformational psychology. There's 3 essential pillars there. The first pillar being subconscious mind, which is responsible for 90% of everything that we do. 90%, you guys, subconscious. That means we don't know that that's what's happening, right? So 90% is what we do. So we pay attention to the subconscious. And then the second pillar is the conscious mind, really bringing consciousness to the work that we do. And then the third thing is to equip you with all the tools through the coaching tools, the accountability, the mentoring tools that you need to get them from point A to point B, as well as yourselves. The third element of the alkaline methodology is all about functional or modernized functional medicine. And I break that down into 3 essential pillars, not take you for a ride. If you know these essential pillars, you'll know everything from dietary intervention to supplements to all the things and understanding the body and how it works as a whole. And that is stress brain, the HPA axis, the gut brain, the enteric nervous system through the vagal nerve, as well as immune brain, which is psychoneuroimmunology components. And we study that in depth. But lastly is business mastery. If you don't know how to master selling and marketing, then you'll never get anywhere. Again, you as a practitioner is important. You have to think about your profitability, scalability. And so I make you become a marketing ninja, and that's the marketing mastery, right? And then the second thing you have to understand is program development. How do you sell your programs? How do you package it together so that it's results oriented, not just you're a yoga teacher or a functional medical doctor? What does that even mean to the patient, right? We do it with the outcome in mind. And then lastly, it's all about really creating systems and processes so everything is automated. And so whatever you repeat, it's on autopilot. So you don't have to do the work all over again. So this efficient system creates a level of awareness, putting everything whole, and you become empowered, powerful health mentor who loves what you do, making a real difference in the lives that we serve. If all this sounds good to you, please join me in Functional Yoga Medicine small group, Facebook group. The link is below to sign up. Our workshop is going on right now, and I would love to have you join us. It comes with a complete workbook. It's a revolutionary way for you to rethink how you practice, no matter what field you're in. Stop being limited by the scope of practice rules and regulations. Focus more on the results-oriented approach to make your patients whole, to shift their mindset from victim, powerless victim, to really self-empowered healer that they're meant to be, and giving them that gift of power and control over their life and their health is what you can expect. I would love to have an open conversation with you, and I would love and greatly appreciate it if you can subscribe to my podcast and leave us a review, because it really helps us to spread the message and to reach more people. So it's Functional Yoga Medicine, and it's on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We're there. So look for us there. Leave us a review. I read everything, and I sincerely appreciate it. And join me in my workshop this week. It goes until Friday, and we'll talk all about a different approach for you to take in really challenging the status quo of our so-called sick care system. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye for now.